Today we're going to dive into WhatWeb. It's one of the easiest tools to fingerprint a website and discover what technologies it's running. Now this is absolutely perfect for beginners. It's an easy tool to run. It provides a lot of information. Imagine, if you will, that you're trying to scan a computer, but instead of finding out the car's VIN number or what year, the model, the engine type, and all the known recalls on that vehicle, we're looking at it from a computer standpoint. We're going to understand what web servers we're running. Is it Apache? We're going to understand the programming landscape, whether it's PHP, ASP, Node. We're going to look at everything, including security headers and cookies. This is an incredibly easy and powerful tool to utilize. Now, before we get started, I always want to remind you, we only scan websites and systems we have explicit permission to test and utilize. If you're doing this on your own virtual system, you're good to go. I'm running this today on my own Kali box with Keyoptrix One. It's one of my favorite systems to run again. Now, WhatWeb comes pre-installed on Kali boxes as of making this video, which as of today is December 2025. So the first thing we need to understand is what we're actually on, right? So I'm going to, of course, do that nmap right off the bat. I want to find my Kali box. Now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the same IP address that it always is on, but let's double check just to be sure. And here we have it. We're on .8. I'm almost positive that's where we're at, but just to be sure, we're going to do an config. Oh, I was incorrect. It's actually on .5. All right, so we're just going to type in WhatWeb right off the bat. We're going to hit that IP address, and it should provide us some good information. Now, this is a fast, minimal impact, a lot of information coming out here. We can see that it's opening up. We're seeing SSL connection returns. We can see the IP address right here. Peer shows us the IP. We're running on 443. We see the state of error. We see that right here, it's got an alert handshake with a failure. Okay, so that's providing us a lot of great information right off the bat. We can see that it's absolutely running Apache. A little bit quicker than what we would see on Nmap. We can see the email address associated with it. Really doesn't provide a lot of good information. That's just kind of the normal. We can see that it's definitely running Red Hat Linux. And yeah, I mean, so there's some good information here when we put into it. But let's expand this. If I want a little bit more information, I want to go in verbose mode. So let's do that. We're going to just do the same thing, except with 10.5, we're actually going to put that TAC V in there, just like so. Hit that sucker in there. And that verbose mode is going to give us a deeper dive into it. A little bit more information, a little bit more details of what's going on with this website. You'll notice that it took us a little bit of extra time, and we have an error here. It's trying to run it on HTTP as well as HTTPS. Now I know that my Keyoptrix machine has no HTTPS, so I'm going to put in HTTP right at the front. We're going to rerun it and see what happens. But yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of an error in there when it comes down to it. So already, once I went in and said, let's just do HTTP, we can see here that it's providing a lot of information. A little bit easier to read, too, when it comes into it. I'm going to scroll up to the top, and let's take a look at this. Right, so here we go. We can see the status of 200 OK, just like before. We can see that it's running on the test page for Apache web server, and we can see the IP address. Now, again, all this information was available on the quick scan. I like the layout on verbose mode a lot better because I feel like it's easier to read. We can see that it's running Apache version 1.3.2. And we know that's out of date. We know that that's out of date, right? But it doesn't tell me right off the bat. It doesn't tell me, hey, based off this limited summary, that this is something that I need to update. And so I feel like that's a little bit of a problem, but let's dive into it a little bit more when we come down. Now we can see the Apache HTTP server projects doesn't have to resolve, and it goes through its entire process. We can see that we're running 1.320. We can see the mod. We can see Google Docs, and then we can see the website. But again, it's not telling me that this is an antiquated version of Apache, and so it has some limitations. But it does kind of point that out, right? It kind of gives us at least the details of it. But I really would have liked this tool to kind of say, hey, person, analyst, this is out of date. This is not a good version of this, right? So if we scroll down a little bit more, we can see the email addresses associated with it. Again, it's still showing me this example.com, so I can see that that's a problem. If I really wanted to, I would highlight that going through it, right? And so if we keep scrolling down, let me get rid of these little boxes right here. Let's trash that away. There we go. And then we see the HTTP server string. Again, it's telling me OS, right? It's Red Hat Linux. And again, still not showing me that there's a vulnerability associated with it. So definitely not a vulnerability scanner. It's just telling me. So you still have to have that knowledge in your mind to go, okay, this doesn't work with this, right? So definitely not a vulnerability scanner. All right, that's verbose mode. We can do aggressive mode too, and I know this is going to surprise a lot of you, but instead of that TAC V, we're just going to do a TAC A. I'm going to keep that HTTP so we don't try to run it again. But again, look at this. Aggression level must be 1, 2, 3, or 4. And so we have to provide that level in there. So I'm going to do a level 4 just because, right? So let's try that 4 right there and see what comes into play. Now, while this is running, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, well, what's the difference between 1 through 4? Well, 1 is safe. It's like the passive mode. It makes one basic request, no extra probing. It's kind of stealthy, a little bit recon, low impact. It's very safe to run on an active network, right? Again, shouldn't be doing this unless you own the network. Level 2, this is the standard fingerprinting. It uses common plugins. It's a general scan to see what the site's running. Not a big deal. A little bit more in line with what we would expect for a normal tube, right? Level 3, that's the aggressive mode. This is going to send those extra requests. It follows redirects. It does deeper checks. This is great for pen testing with permission. It's more detailed information, give us a little bit more associated with it. And so that leaves us to level 4. Level 4 is very aggressive. It's heavy probing. It tries as many plugins as possible. It's very noisy. When would I want to use level 4? Well, CTFs. CTFs and labs, right? We're testing our own systems only. I really don't care because I'm not on a live system. This is used for competitions. That's what we're going for with level 4. Now with this scan, you can see that it gave us a little bit more information, but not so much, especially on the capture machine, that I would say that it's worth doing it. In a CTF format, definitely something I would do, but given our target machine really isn't that well versed, it's pretty mundane. It's pretty lightweight, right? We're not going to see a lot in there. So let's talk about some more commands right off the bat. We can actually go through and say, I want to enable all plugins. If I want to do that, it's a simple command. I'm just going to do WhatWeb, just like before, and then I'm going to do tac plugins, and then plus all, just like that, and of course our target HTTP 10.0.2.5, and we go with that. Now we're not going to run that command, but I wanted to show it to you. One of the other commands that we could do also is WhatWeb. Oops, let me get rid of that. Here we go. WhatWeb. And then we could do a change user agent. This allows me to mimic a browser. So if I wanted to try and bypass restrictions, say using Mozilla instead of Chrome or vice versa, I could do that. Very simple command. I just do a tac user and then agent right off the bat. There we go. And then I just need to identify what I'm going to use. I'm going to use Mozilla, pretending that I was using Chrome before, and then the version, I'm going to do 5.0. And then again, the target HTTP : / 10.0.2.5, and I can do that, right? I can also tell it to follow all redirects. This is if I didn't want to do an aggressive scan, but I still wanted to follow those redirects. Maybe I didn't want to do verbose. I could tell it to do just that. I'm going to interrupt this command, but that one's real simple. I can do WhatWeb, web if I spell it correctly. There we go. And then I could do a follow, tac follow. I think it's redirect. There we go. And then equals all. And then I just need to give it its target again, which is that HTTP : / Yeah. All right. So that's what you're probably trying to figure out. Okay, well, how does this compare to, say, Nmap? Because I didn't mention Nmap, and we mentioned that it doesn't need any vulnerability scanning. So what is the primary purpose? Well, it's web technology fingerprinting, right? It's fast, it's simple, it's great for a quick recon. I still prefer Nmap. I really do. I think that WhatWeb provides a little bit easier format, and it does a little bit more when it comes to fingerprinting as far as technology goes. But for 9 times out of 10, I'm still going to pick Nmap as my go-to, right? Nmap identifies open ports, it does services, it does operating system versions, it goes through that process. I think where WhatWeb kind of shines is really identifying specific hardware as it goes through. And that's something that Nmap doesn't technically take advantage of a lot. Can you still get Apache's version? Yes, you 100% can through Nmap. And this is why I say Nmap. About 90% of the time I'm going to use that. And it doesn't do vulnerability scanner. Nmap has limited vulnerability scanning capabilities if you run it in a script where WhatWeb doesn't. I think for pure web vulnerability on a command line basis, I think I'm going to stick with Nikto. I think it's a better tool. So Would I use WhatWeb? Yeah, I would use it concurrently with Nmap in a CTF environment. I think that's really where this goes to, but I think I'm going to stick with Nmap when it comes to the overall majority of it. All right, that's WhatWeb. As always, if you find a tool that you're like, hey, I would like to learn more about this tool, could you do a video on it? Hit it in a comment below. We'll see you next time. I'm Dr. K.